What's up, everybody? Today we are going to be talking about promoted listings and how you can use them to get more sales. So first off, before I get into too much specific information about promoted listings, let's just show you how to run a promoted listing campaign. The nice thing about promoted listings is it's something that you could do in 5 or 10 minutes that affects however many items you have for sale. You don't have to spend much time doing it at all, and it's quite simple, right? So to show you how to start, let's go here. You will need to go to pls.ebay.com/pls-web-/dashboard. This is going to bring you to this promoted listings thing here. This dashboard will be empty for you, so you'll have to scroll down, and in the campaigns area, it'll say 0 of 0 most likely. And then where you're going to click is create new campaign, okay? And from this point, you have to pick whether you're going to select individual listings to promote or if you're going to select all of the listings in bulk. This depends how big your store is. If you have a 10,000, 20,000 item store, you can just select it in bulk and select everything, right? So that's what I usually do. Because my stores tend to be bigger than 25,000 items, I usually have to create multiple campaigns to encompass all of the items, but normally you won't have to worry about that. You could just either select the listings individually here or select listings in bulk to be able to select everything, right? It's really easy. All you need to do is just click all, right? Just like that. So the reason that it selected 7,000 items from me is because I have roughly 7,000 items that aren't currently included in another campaign, right? So we're going to click that. And so this part, typically, if you're really all right, all that you need to do is click apply same rate to all listings. And when you're starting off with promoted listings, do something small, like just 1 or maybe 2%. You don't want to have a 100%. I don't think it could get as high as 100%. Interesting. So this percentage, what this means is that when your item sells, and only if the item sells, eBay is going to take an extra percentage on top of their regular final value fee. Okay, and you want to make sure that you're not using exceed trending ad rates as a dropshipper, because if you do this, sometimes you're going to be giving an additional 8 or 10% to eBay. You really want to avoid that. Make sure you're just doing this and then just do 1% or maybe 2%. Once you know what you're doing, then you can start using higher ad rates, but be really careful because it's very easy here to set up a situation where you're not earning any money from your sales, right? And so you're going to get lots of sales, but you're not earning anything, so it's kind of pointless, right? And this is the best option here, is to do apply same rate, and you would just click continue. And then you would name it. So this is like campaign practice video. And then you have to click I agree to the terms of service and then click launch. And now we have a campaign that's been created. And that's all that there is to it. It's really simple, especially if you're just using one set ad rate for everything. If you really want to get into it, you can find a list of the going ad rates per category. I'm not sure where that is, but it'll tell you like, okay, typically if you have an ad rate of less than 8% in this category, you're not going to get as many sales. You need an 8% ad rate. So most of the time we are using just a fraction of the recommended ad rate. And as dropshippers, you do have to be more careful there, right? But so now that you see how to create a campaign, let's talk a little bit more in detail about promoted listings and how they work. But before we get to that, I need to address one thing. This dashboard is a little bit misleading, okay? If we look at this here and we go to the sold category, it looks like I'm in the middle of like taking down an old store, launching new store, big transition. So that's why there's like nothing for this period, because there were no items for sale, right? So, or there were no campaigns. If we look at these individual days, it looks like, okay, on April 23rd, we sold 14 items due to promoted listings. On April 27th, we sold 15 items. On May 13th, we sold 8. It's not actually, okay, don't take that as these promoted listings created 15 sales on this day that weren't going to happen otherwise. The reality is promoted listings do increase your sales, but you are going to get sales that were going to happen anyway, but the promoted listing is shown right before the regular listing. So it counts as a promoted listing sale, even though it was going to happen even if you didn't have this promotion running. So this doesn't mean 15 additional sales to all of my regular sales. There is more sales than normal, but not all of them are sales that happened because of promoted listings. And that's important to understand. Don't get like super hyped if it's showing you that. Don't be surprised, at least, if you're used to like 30 sales a day and you run a promoted listings campaign, and then it's showing you that you're getting 20 sales a day per promoted listings, but you're only getting like 5 or 10 more sales more than you normally would, right? Just something to keep in mind, okay? So now that we understand that, let's go read a little bit more about promoted listings. So this is a page on the spring seller update. And eBay's had promoted listings for a while, but it's something that they're trying to push people to use more, which makes sense because you pay eBay more, incentivizes them to show your product to get more visibility. It's definitely a useful tool. And it's something that you should be using in some form, right? The minimum you should be using it is the way that I just showed you, where you select everything and then you just do like a minimum 1%. Even that is going to help. Like all of this, that's all from 1%. So you don't have to match the going ad rate. Even if you do a small 1% change, you are going to have a noticeable difference, okay? So what can we address here? So if you're a top rated seller, you get a credit. If you're an Anchor store or an Enterprise store subscriber, you get a credit. So that just means that it's basically them paying some of those fees that you aggregated through the promoted listings sales, right? So we have some quotes from big sellers who use promoted listings. I'm trying to think if there's anything else that's relevant to you guys. Yeah, okay. There is one thing that is relevant. Current ad rate averages. Here we go. This, if you want to get into using promoted listings more and you are an non-dropshipper, then this part is more relevant to you. Or if you're a dropshipper and you're really experienced and you know what you're doing, then you might want to look at understanding what categories have higher ad rates and lower ad rates and factor that average ad rate into what you want to do for your store. As you can see, none of these have an average ad rate of like 1 or 2%, right? This is all like 9, 10. Lowest is 4. But this list is pretty useful if you're looking into that. All right. So now you guys know a bit more about promoted listings. You know how to set them up. And maybe tomorrow or another day, I'll do a video about promotions, because don't get promoted listings confused with promotions. They are different. And I think promoted listings is something that all eBay sellers should use in some way, whereas promotions aren't necessarily something that all sellers should use, but they can be used to earn a lot more money, right? All right, guys, thanks for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye-bye.